Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We're from Group 3, Class 4, 7. And today we're going to present about accountability and access control. And before we start it, let me introduce ourselves. My name is Reza Satria and my friend is Attar, Wahyu, Pangestu. In this section, we're going to explain about 4 chapters, which contain background, basic theory, problem analysis, and conclusion and suggestion. Background. Access control is a relationship that occurs between the subject and the object. Subject is an entity, can be human, computer, user, application, or process that access an object, while an object is an entity, can be application, data, process, or computer accessed by the subject. The relationship that occurs between the subject and the object, for example, is a computer user accessing a document file. The user is considered an object, and the document file is the object that is being accessed. Basic theory. There are 7 types of access control. Number 1 is preventive access control. It is an access control that is used to stop and prevent unwanted, unauthorized activity from appearing. Second one is deterrent access control. It is used to minimize policy violation security. Number 3 is detective access control. It is used to find unauthorized activity or undesirable activity. Number 4 is corrective access control. It is used to return the system back to its state normal before unwanted activity occurs. Number 5 is recovery access control. It is used to repair or restore a source's power, function, and capability after a security breach. Number 6 is compensation access control. It is used to provide a variety of alternative options to support security policies. Number 7 is direct access control. It is used to direct, limit, control action conduct by the subject in order to comply with the security policy. Second one is accountability process. There are 2 stages of accountability process, which are stage 1, identification. Identification is the process of introducing a subject with an identity and associate this identity with his rights. Stage 2 is authentication. It is a process of verifying or testing whether the identity is given in a valid identity. Stage 3 is authorization. Each user who performs authentication can be assigned the rights that is termed by authorization or granting of access rights. There are 4 identification and authentication techniques. Number 1 is password. Passwords are a very commonly used authentication technique, but this is also the case is the weakest authentication technique in terms of security protection. Number 2 is biometric. Biometric is an identification and authentication technique that belongs to the category something you are. Biometric uses behavioral characteristics and psychological characteristics that are unique to the subject. Number 3 is token. Token or smart token is a device capable of generating passwords and must be carried by the user because the token uses the type something you have. Number 4 is ticket. Ticket authentication is a mechanism that other users employ to prove the provides authentication. And number 5 is single sign-on. Single sign-on or SSO is a mechanism that allows subject to be authenticated only once on a
DIC or discretionary access control. That system use access control with this technique. Let the owner get object control or control the subject access to the object. Non-discretionary. This access control technique use a rule-based system consisting of a set of rules, restriction, or filter that filter out what can and can appear on the system. Monetary This technique is based on the classification label, which each classification label display the security domain. The security domain is a common truth area governed by security police specific to the domain. Role-based access control define access control with object ability to access object through a series of rules or text. Lattice based access control is similar to to an or DIC non di the non discretionary access control because both have access restriction to object sensitivity. Access control method and implementation. There are have two types access control methodology, namely central and decentral. Where central or centralized access control can be managed by small team or individual, mainly with density by a team. First, central access control is usually implemented by granting access right to a location which is usually a server. That server assessment for right for example a radius remote extraction dial user service server or text terminal access control system. And this decentralized is a access control request server people join in the team where matter of an administration nature of elevative because change as to implemented in various places. And to the case of security, dev and use the other people internet account. Account is different from physical dev because dev is done by simply capturing the user ID and password. The purpose of the theft is only to steal information. The party that was stolen will not feel the loss. Conclusion and suggestion. Conclusion. During write this paper, the conclusion we have made the security police an important system in of the accountability and access control. Suggestion to secure personal company from cybercrime, we as system protector must be to server policies in the cyber world. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.